In today's episode of Audit Austin Code Compliance, I'd like to walk you through a property at 1709 East 12th Street. Here's a Google Earth aerial view of this property. This is 12th Street up in here, and this is the property in question. What we're going to look at are these two security lights mounted on the front of the building right here. Now, the Google Street View of this shows the two lights right here and right here, mounted on the front of this building. Who does this building belong to but Mr. Nelson Linder, who runs an insurance office out of there and the local office of the NAACP. This is Mr. Linder protesting in front of City Hall when we were there trying to raise awareness about how corrupt Austin Code is. He wasn't protesting with us, he was protesting against us, stating that we are being bullies and dividing the community. He was more than welcome to come and protest. He stayed long enough until the media shut up, and then he left. And so let's take a look at Mr. Nelson Linder's building and see why he doesn't want us to bring to light the things in Austin Code. So here is one of the security lights. There's a series of photos. You can see that this is the one on the right side of the building as you're facing it. There's a junction box and conduit, but they've actually come out with some Romex and just stapled it to the thing and come up right into the light. This is not an approved installation. This is in violation of the electrical code. You can see where the wire is pinched coming inside of here. A couple of screws hold this fixture in place. You can see here again, no conduit. The wire just comes out of the junction box and comes out this way. This is not in keeping with the electrical code. The reason we have electrical codes is to make it safe when you and I go buy insurance from Mr. Linder or go visit the office of the NAACP. Again, this is another junction of that conduit. The conduit is out of the box. You can see the wires extending out, and then there's something in here going on. Again, this is not up to city's codes. This is right over the door that comes in here. This is the church office right here. And again, down toward the other end, it would be the left side as you're looking at the building. There's some conduit coming off this way, some wires coming out of the box going this way, and wires going this way. One would imagine that at one point they had under the eave fixtures here that were mounted here, but they decided to run wires out and put up these other lights. Here's the same box. You can see the wires coming this way. The wires come unstapled here. And you can see a couple of small screws just hold the fixture in to this soffit board here. You can see another line that comes off this way and is feeding another circuit back this way. You can see that soffit has got rotting wood on it. And so this building clearly has issues. It's not going to kill anybody right away, but it has issues. It's in violations of the city code, and the city codes are there to protect the public when we come to public buildings. So I turned this thing in, and let's see what the code department did. Here you can see the location address is 1709 East 12th Street. The owner is clearly listed as Mr. Nelson Linder, the insurance agency, and it has the address of 1704 East 12th Street. So the owner is clearly listed in the Travis County Appraisal District for the address in question, 1709. Let's look at the case report. Here is the code compliance case log for 1709 East 12th Street. And the property owner is not recorded. The inspector in charge says it is not recorded. The complaint says, Nelson Linder Insurance, this property has two security lights mounted on the front edge of the roof line. These lights were most likely not installed with a permit due to exposed wires coming out of the junction box and poor installation of the light fixture. Electrical hazard and risk of fixture falling on the public. That's the complaint. It is assigned to Troy Collins. I've got many videos on Troy Collins. And again, when I turn these things in, I have no idea who's going to get assigned. It's a crapshoot. And Troy Collins is a maniac. Let's see what he does here. He said, I made this location. He built it? No. He made this location and took photos. And after checking the City of Austin GIS, which is Geographic Information System, these lights have been up since 2003. There's no new work that has been done, nor is there a complainant to contact. He cites no violations found and just closed his cases. Now, there is no statute of limitations on the building code. The only reason he chose 2003 is that's how far back the photos go, the aerial photos. He looked at the aerial photos and could see the lights in question, and then he went on site and took photos. Let's see if he took photos of the same things that I took photos of. All right, here's Troy Collins' case log. He was there in 2016 on May the 24th at 11:48 a.m. Okay, the address is 1709 East 12th Street, code case 2016-058854, Wednesday, May 24th, Code Officer Troy Collins. He has the right address. These are the two lights in question that I showed you photos of. He takes a photo of the front of the building, and he includes this piece of conduit here. He takes a distant shot of this light here on the left, and you can see how it's leaning down. And then he takes a photo of this light here, and that's the last photo he took. He failed to take any photos of the conduit underneath. He failed to talk to the owner. He basically drove by, spent 2 minutes on site, and closed his case. Now let's take a look at my photos again. This is clearly in violation of the city codes. Troy Collins, all he had to do was point his camera and shoot, but he didn't do that. He chose to take pictures from a distance, selectively make his photographs, and said, there's no problems here. And Troy Collins just closed his case. This is theft. Make no mistake about it, Troy Collins falsified his case log. What he said was true. The photos, there's no new work. And as far as he can tell, the photos, these have been here since 2003. But he failed to investigate. He did so because of who owns the building. Because Nelson Linder came out in support of Austin Code when we were protesting in front. And why would Carl Smart, why would Troy Collins harm their buddy, Nelson Linder, by writing him a citation and having him bring his building up to the current standards? That's the way code works. The code department is corrupt. The leadership is corrupt. And Troy Collins has done this time and time again. And who's responsible? That would be the director of Austin Code, Carl Smart, who wants to dress like a police commander, wear a big gold badge on his uniform, and laugh and smile in the neighborhoods. But when it comes to protecting the public from businesses who would do shoddy electrical work and have issues, Carl Smart looks the other way. And in the end, it's going to be his inspectors, Troy Collins, Chessie Collins, Chris Maldonado, Todd Wilcox. While there are a few good inspectors, there are a lot of inspectors out here that just turn a blind eye, do somebody a favor, and now we've got an investigation going on about an inspector who is writing people up for things and then turning around and telling a real estate agent where to swoop in and purchase property because the people are afraid that they're going to be fined or it's going to cost too much to fix the property. This laughing man right here, Carl Smart, thinks it's funny. But in the long run, it's going to be his inspectors, the very same people that he's trying to protect, who are going to submarine his career and destroy everything he's worked for.